Good afternoon. In this video, we're going to go over this week's options watch list. Before I get into the watch list, if you're not in the room, you can find the link in the description of the video and in my bio section of social media accounts. Also, please subscribe to the channel and like the video. Let's see. Now, I have posted up the put-to-call ratio. I use stock charts because I like the look of it. I like the way it looks and feels. And I know you can use TOS and you can use other platforms, but this is what I use and this is what I go by. So one thing I want to point out is the put-to-call ratio is fairly high going into Monday, and it can go higher. I mean, don't get me wrong, because if you look at like the weekly, it's not, you can't go in and thinking, okay, we have to have a short squeeze. No, we don't, because we up here, it was a lot higher. Let's see, it was 1.28, which was way up here. During the COVID crash, we have QT going on, so it's nothing is ever etched in stone as far as going by this. You can't just say, okay, it's at peak levels right here, it has to squeeze. No, it doesn't have to. It can go higher. But the point of using this is that if it does start to look bullish at the time of the day, anytime during the day, that you have to keep in mind that a short squeeze is quite possible. So that's what we have to keep an eye on for tomorrow, maybe even Tuesday. We'll have to see what how over the weekend news reacts tomorrow, and I know that Russia's putting out more threats with the U.S. and stuff like that, so who knows if it will even have any react. As far as we know, SPY could pop on it, because SPY has just been really completely stupid this past week with bad news. So, but yeah, put-to-call ratio is fairly high based on previous levels in this area. So we have, you can look at this right here, 24. We'll slide this over. What day is this? This is the 24th. 24th is right. Of course, I can't see the day. Okay, now I can. 24th is right here. This wick right here. That's the peak of this. And this one is what? The 18th, which is probably right here. No, 18th is this red candle right here. Oh, this green candle. Oh, right here. This red candle right here. And let's see, this is what? The 11th, which is probably this one. Yep, you can see right here, every time it's peaked, that's where it dropped here, here, and here. So it's basically this level right in here. So now we're up here, and put-to-call ratio is fairly high when we're up here chopping around this 410 area. But you can see it's consolidating right here, and obviously QT is here, and the Fed's going to end up reducing its balance sheet and stuff like that. So it's taking money out of the market. The only thing that's driving it up right now is retail. Institutions are not playing. The Fed's taking their money out, so retail's driving it up and causing it to act like this. So we'll have to see if it does manage, if the put-to-call ratio does come into play tomorrow. And so one of the things I'd like to add, let me just get rid of that. See right here, it's been holding this 410 level. You know, it gets underneath and gets bought up. So, but also kind of see like a little bit of head and shoulders to the left, a head right here, and a possible right shoulder. So, I mean, we get different scenarios that could end up playing out. I mean, it's going to be, you know, do or die for SPY. I mean, if it gets over 415, it could run to 420 to even 430. And if it gets underneath this 410, it's probably going to drop down to 400 or even 390. So it will be really dependent on what comes out. Now, I was looking at the economic calendar for the week, and I don't really see much going on. I mean, we get our just our normal, you know, stuff we get every day, like the let's see, Monday, nothing there. Tuesday we get our, let's see, no, nothing really Tuesday either. Wednesday, We get wholesale inventories and 10-year bond auction. Thursday morning is the, let's see, unemployment claims on Thursday. Then unemployment change. Oh, that's for Canada. We get CPI, core CPI on Friday. So really don't have much going on. I don't see Yellen. I don't see Powell. I don't even see, you know what? I don't even see any of the Fed speakers on here. I'm just double checking again. I don't see, usually you see Fed speakers here and there. I don't see any. Yeah, I don't see any, but that will change. I'm sure that will change. Yeah. Yeah, that will end up changing. But anyways, it's going to be very dependent on the news, on which way it goes. So we'll be watching it in either direction, under 410 or over 415. Will all depend on the gap up and the gaps down, where the levels are going to be that we're going to take. So that's why you need to be in the room. The gap up and the gap downs do make a huge difference. So it does adjust our plays accordingly. So with that said, the next one I have is I'm going to put Microsoft. A lot of the ones I've been watching for the last couple of weeks, and Microsoft this is where it had its guidance lowered. And look at that strong green candle, and it's just still sitting there. So SPY will dictate which way Microsoft's going to end up going, because Microsoft's going to end up following the market. If the market's strong, you know, it probably gets over 275, probably pop to 280, 290, even 300. I mean, it should have dropped, and it should be below the 250 area, or at least 250 after the lowering the guidance. It's acted stupid, and we'll just have to see how Microsoft reacts this week. But yeah, I mean, even if it gets underneath the 268 area, 265, you can round down if you want. Yeah, say 268. It's a good area. You can watch 265, 260, 255, 250. It does not like to stay under 250. So definitely have to watch for that. But also, you know, if it gets over the 275, it could actually go to 300 too. Facebook, even though it had the COO step down, didn't really affect anything. It just, like any other bad news, it just got ignored. I mean, it did cap down a little bit. I think this is the news, or was this the news? I don't remember, one of the days, but it was this day. Green candle. But anyways, Facebook, if it gets over 200, could make a nice little push to 220, 240. It's got gap resistance here in the 240, 245 area. So definitely watch that. A lot of the stocks are so beaten down that they're just trying to bounce. And Netflix is just another one. And this thing has just gotten hammered on so much. Get like a little, it's kind of hard to see. A little inverted head and shoulders. You get the left, you get the head, and you get the right shoulder right here. So if it does manage to get over this 203 area, I could push to, let's see, 215, 220, 225. Then you get gap resistance right here in the 250 area. So Netflix could have a strong move. The weekly has just gotten so beaten up, and plus you can see on the histogram it's making a higher low, it's just making lower lows on the weekly, so it's having a very big bullish divergence going on the weekly. So have to see if that does actually pop. I do like seeing weekly bullish divergences going on, because it ends up usually producing a large move, but we'll have to see if that actually happens. The market will have a huge play on that. But you know, if the QT starts ramping up, or it starts to matter, I should say, that you know, we could easily get under 380, and if it gets into this 380 area on SPY, we could end up going back to 350. I still think 350 or low is what we're going to be looking at, but who knows. But that's why I haven't tried to get anything long-term yet, because I wanted to see how QT plays out. It's going to start ramping up. And we get FOMC coming up too. What day is FOMC? I'm just looking ahead a little bit. I think it's the 15th or something. Let's see. Yeah, it is the 15th. Wednesday the 15th. Yeah, so we get FOMC coming up next week. Not this week coming up, but next week. So Roku, this thing just can't get out of its way. I've been watching this week after week after week after week, and the histogram is going up, but the price is not. So it's more huge bullish divergence. You get it on the RSI, you get it on the histogram, you get it on the MACD, you get it on the stochastics, you get it on multiple indicators. At some point, this thing is going to pop, but who knows when. So I would watch it over. It dropped down in 87. It could drop down here more down to the 80 and 75 area again. But I like it. If it does get over this 97, 100 area, it's probably going to end up taking off and having a strong move. So it needs to break this downtrend right here. It started to look like it was going to right here, but it didn't. So over 100, it's going to push to 120, 140, and Roku, it just loves to have $20. Hasn't had a $20 day in a long time. What is this one right here? 135 to 112. Yeah, that's $23 right there. So hasn't had a strong day in a very, very long time. And it breaks 100 and gets any momentum behind it in the market screen. We could end up seeing a $20 move out of Roku very, very easily. Sharp, I have Sharp on the list. I've been watching it. I haven't really taken it yet. Same thing as Roku. Huge bullish divergence, histogram, RSI. So I would watch it over, what is this? You could even say 360 to 380. It gets over 380, it's going to go to 400, 420. It gets over this 410, 420 area. It's going to end up taking off. You got get gap right here at 450, then you got 480. And this thing could just end up really taking off. And it's just crazy how it was $1,700 back 6 months ago, and yeah, it's down here under 400. It's just crazy how Sharp is taking a beating. And Target is another one. This Target's starting to look pretty good though. You get a cup and handle right here starting to form. This is why I'm watching this one. It rejected the gap resistance right here, pull back a little bit now. If we can get back up here to gap resistance of the 167 area, and this thing's going to take off. So I would watch it. You can even watch it over this high right here of 165, 163. You can say 164, round up for a push to 167, 170. Now, if it does get over this 168, 170 area, it's going to take off. So Target, definitely keep on high alert to see if it does do anything. Tesla. This one, it's dropped on the daily, rejected the 20 EMA right here, which is the white line. It's coming back down. And so I'll be watching it on the short side, underneath 700 for a push down to 650, even 600. It could go either way, but I like it short here. But another thing you could point out is that you have a inverted head and shoulders. You can see it on the daily. So, you can watch it underneath 700 for a drop down to 650 or even 620. But if it does manage to get over the 6, I get thinking 6. If it gets over this 775 area, get an inverted head and shoulders. You get the left, the head, and the right. You can see it on the daily too, right here. The left, the head, and the right. It gets over this 780 area. We'll say 780. It gets over that. We could end up seeing a very, very strong move out of Tesla that way too. But it's going to either get over the 780 area or it's going to get underneath 700. It's the only two areas I'd be watching. Definitely think that we could see more downside of Tesla because we had Ford. I think it was Ford the other day had record sales for the electric vehicles, and GM's going to probably end up having record sales. And GM and Ford are like household names, and people are going to, when they go shop for electric, they're going to shop for cheaper, more well-known manufacturers like Toyota, Ford, GM, Dodge, Mopar, and stuff like that. They're not going to go to, Tesla. Tesla does own, the lion's share of the electric vehicles, but I don't think they're going too much longer if they don't. They're going to lose a lot of ground to their competition. So to me, I think that competition is getting heavy and it's weighing down on Tesla, and I think that's why I'd be watching Tesla for more downside. Tesla gets underneath this, let's see, 600 area right here. It's got a long ways to go. I mean, it could go down to 550, even 500. I mean, it's got a long way to drop if it loses this low right here on the weekly. So that's what I'm going to be watching for the week. Like I said, a lot of it's going to dictate by SPY's movement and the news, and hopefully SPY this week will actually act accordingly and not be stupid and respond the way it should. But you got to trade the market you have, not the one you want. And that's just the name of the game, and that's going to do it for the watch list. Hope to see you in the room.